Hi everybody, my name is Emma. I am here to talk to you about how you can actually pass your NVQ Level 3 in adult and social care. Yes, first time. So I'm going to just walk with you around the guide of passing it the first time, and I'm also going to be discussing with you about what is actually required, how you can actually meet the assessor's expectation first time. So again, my name is Emma, and I am the CEO for Kelink Academy, and we are the Highfield accredited qualifications. We are a training provider that's been accredited by Highfield. So we deliver levels 2 to level 5 social care and early years qualification fully online. So today I'm going to specifically be talking about, how you can actually pass the level 3 first time. Level 3 NVQ qualification is the highly most recognized qualification regulated by OFCO. So if you're a care worker, this qualification, and you're already working, this qualification will be just right for you. Because with this qualification, you know that you can work independently, make decisions, and lead small tasks. It is the first step, in fact, it's the essential step moving into management, level 4 and level 5. So, with this qualification, if you take it with Kelink, no exams. All your assessments is based on what you do every day. Every day. So, what will you study in this level 3? This level 3, carries 9 mandatory units. You have to those are the mandatory units, and it's got 9 of them. 1, remote communication. 2, handling information correctly. 3, your own professional development. 4, person-centered care. Then you talk about 5, equality and diversity, and health, safety, and equality, diversity, and inclusion. Equality, diversity, and inclusion. Then we talk about duty of care, safeguarding as a care worker, very important. So once you completed those 9 units, there will be optional units as well for you to complete depending on what area of care you're into. So the optional units is based on the job you're doing. If you're into dementia care, if you're into end-of-life support, or medication management. So the next question you would be asking me, how will I be assessed? Like I said, no exams. So it's going to be mainly reflective accounts. Reflective account, what you do every day, how you can link that into your work. We want to be able, the assessor will always want to see how your work is relevant. You can put your work into your answering your questions. So you will be looking at what you did in terms of reflection and what you have learned from there. What have you learned from What can you change, if at all? So the most important thing is that the assessor wants to see real examples of what you're doing, real examples of the care you're actually providing to your clients. You don't have to tell us the name, so they don't want, you mean confidentiality is very key. So there will be witness statements as well, because that is part of your assessment. Witness statement from your manager and colleagues sometimes, and the assessor will also come to your work environment to observe you in practice. So you've got all that, the mandatory units, the optional units, the witness statements, and also the observation. What next? How do you even pass it? You would say, so then I got all this information, how will I pass my level 3? That is the big secret, isn't it? The simple answer to that question is you explain what you do and you link it to the law and you give real life examples. How easy is that? You know? So if you do get the referral, because if you don't give those information as required to meet your learning outcomes, when you submit your work, you will be referred. Referring means that you may have to redo it and do it to meet the level 3 assessments. Because level 3, you're going to be, it's taking you up to supervisory level. So we need to know why you're doing something. So rationale is key. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you doing what you're doing? You know, because sometimes when you see those questions, you start listing them, and that is the mistake people make. You list facts, you don't explain how you use them, and you forget to name the laws like the Care Act or Equality Act, depending on the question you're answering. But the laws are there for you, the legislation, because that is linked into your own policies at work and how you actually implement those policies. So when you go on doing your level 3, don't just rush to do AI. AI is there for support, but use it, understand it, and then link it to your everyday role within your home, within your in your area of work. Because if you think you're just going to write very fanciful words, you're going to come out very intelligent, that is not what the assessor is looking at. The assessor is looking at if you understand what you're doing, because we are looking after patients. So we have to be able to know that the patient's needs are met. Person-centered, respect, dignity. We want to see what you have done and how you have met that patient's needs, because that's what you're there for. We know you can do it, but we want to see how you're doing it, you know. So use your own experience. A lot of time, missing one small part of the unit can delay you, you know, and if you're leaving everything to the last minute as well, is not very helpful. So at Academic Academy, we make it very easy for you. It is all online, and you can work within your shift. You got the one-to-one tutor that will support you all the way. We can offer you checklist on what to look at to help you answer your questions so that you don't have to have a lot of resubmissions. We also, there is funding, but you speak to your management about that. And if you decide to pay by yourself, and there is government funding, obviously, but it is through your management. If you decide to pay it on your own, Kerlink Academy, we have payment plans available, and we handle your registration from high link as per high link requirements. So what am I saying? I'm saying that with this qualification, you can do so much. You can just come in, do it, and get your qualification. All in the how long will it take you? It all depends. But we say usually leave between 6 to 9 months. And again, we are here at Kerlin to be able to answer those questions that you may have concerning this qualification. So, thank you very much for listening, and I look forward to answering most of your questions on other. Remember, we offer qualifications from level 2. So, even if you don't have any qualification and you just want to come in and ask the question, you're most welcome, because you can start with the level 2 and get to level 3. And if you want to, if you're already a level 3 holder, you want to come in to do your level 4 and your level 5, you're more than welcome. We'll be supporting you all the way to achieving your goal and your vision. We really look forward to your questions. We look for answer every question. Trust me, I answer every question. So what we are looking at is authentic questions, and those authentic questions means that you know that this is your area, that you would like to, you have a passion for this field and you don't know how to get into the care work. We can advise you on that as well. So thank you very much for listening, and I will speak to you again regarding another area of support that we can provide you with. Have a very good evening, and please don't forget to subscribe, to give us a call. All the links are online, and we will be happy to answer any of your questions. Good evening.